You know, I got a Fitbit. Yeah, I don't know what it does. Another thing about me, I'm a big, large, fat person. Hi. Hello. I actually counted as all of you were walking into the show tonight and kept track, and I'm easily the 17th or 18th fattest person in this room. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm the fattest. Just wanted to make some of you medium fat people nervous for a second. I think it worked. Right, sir? It worked, right? Yeah. It worked. Just kidding. I actually used to, at the beginning of my shows, announce the real number, just because I thought that was really funny. I'd come out and say, I'm the 4th fattest person in this room. And it would always get a laugh, but it would be delayed. Because first people would look around to find the 3 fatter people in the room. It's like, oh no, I'm just ruining the night for 3 people is what I'm doing. So then I just went with a high number, and I just say that number all the time, and people always laugh immediately. Because they're like, that's impossible. You can't fit 16 more of you in this building. I'm working on it, kinda. You know, I got a Fitbit. Yeah, I don't know what it does. Sometimes it beeps, I don't know what that means. Doesn't work, I've had it for a year. Do these bits look fit to you? Real problem is the only way to lose weight is someone my size is you have to get a personal trainer. And here's the problem with that. As a general rule, I don't like personal trainers. On a personal level. Because I feel like they're judging me because they're fit and I'm not, and that's the only thing that matters in their universe. Like, I want a trainer that gets it. There's way more to life than just that. I want a trainer that'll say, hey man, you may not be fit, but you know what? You're smart and you're super funny. In fact, you're perfect just the way you are. Let's go get a slice. Then instead of working out, we just eat pizza and talk about how special I am. It's the kind of trainer I want. I think I want my mommy, is what I'm saying. I said I was trying earlier. I think I can be honest with you. We both know I'm not trying. Like at all. And that's how you look like this, by not trying every day. Like today I went to McDonald's. Twice. First time was on purpose. I think the second was just a combination of road hypnosis and muscle memory. Twice in the same day, that's nothing. Try going twice in the same shift. Yeah, that's an experience right there. You pull up to the menu, order your food, they say pull around, and you do because you're hungry and obedient. And you get to the window and you see that same person recognize you from earlier and just start questioning everything. You're like, am I stuck in a time loop? Or is this just the saddest man on the planet? No, being the regular at a diner or a cafe, that's cool. You stroll in, they treat you like part of the family. Being the regular at an Arby's is way less glamorous. You walk in, they're like, oh, him again. Better fire up the second fryer. Need to get more curly fries out of the freezer. Stat! I think it's funny that people feel like they can point it out to me in public that I'm fat, like that's not a rude thing to do. And they do it super casually. Like I was on a plane, guess my elbow's in the aisle. Flight attendant walked by and bumped it. Said, hey, watch out, big guy. So I said, whatever you say, black lady. If we're just throwing around adjectives, let's do this. Oh man, it's good to be here. Hello. My name's Christian. I'm originally from Kentucky. I live in Los Angeles now, but I grew up in a very small town called Beaver Dam, Kentucky, home of 3,000 people. Yeah, it's the kind of town where someone asks you if you've seen the new trailer. They ain't talking about no Star Wars. They're talking about somebody's home. There's a lot of misconceptions about the South. One of them, people think that everyone in the South is stupid. That's not true. Not. But what is true is there aren't quite enough smart people for all the smart people jobs. So some dummies have to pick up the slack here and there. I think we can agree as a group that generally speaking, a high school principal ought to be a smarter than average person. You know, mine wasn't. He was a nice guy. A lot of great attributes. Not the brightest bulb, you know. One day in assembly, he's trying to remember the phrase, hindsight is 20/20. You guys want to see how that played out? Okay. Well, y'all know the saying, hindsight. Hindsight, oh. Hindsight cost 50 cents. That's the best he could. What does that even mean? Sounds like a good deal on hindsight. Sign me up. Kentucky's the Bible Belt, man. People believe some things very strongly there. You people in Utah wouldn't know what that's like at all. Last time I was there, I went to a convenience store, and when I checked out, the total came to $6.66. Yeah. The lady at the register panicked. And started rummaging around the counter. She's like, I need a Tootsie Roll. Where are the Tootsie Rolls? What? So I can't ring you up for the number of the beast. Sorry, won't do it. You have to buy a Tootsie Roll. They're 2 cents. You can take the pennies out of the penny tray. Okay, so basically Lucifer bought me that Tootsie Roll. I was afraid to eat it. It's still sitting on my dresser. I don't know what to do with that. Actually, that same trip, I ran into my high school principal again. He's not the principal anymore. Now he runs a successful chain of Hawaiian shaved ice stands. And I asked him how that was going. He said, well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Pieper. If I'd known how much money I'd make doing this, I wouldn't never been no principal. I said, well, you know what they say, hindsight costs 50 cents. Should have stocked up when you had the chance. People do discriminate against people of size. That's a real thing. I tried Airbnb for the first time and I figured that out. Do you guys know what that is? It's a service where if you're going to another town, instead of getting a hotel, you can spend less and stay in someone's spare room if you think they won't murder you. I gave it a shot. I set up an account and I requested a room. I was going to Seattle. I found a little room that was cheap. I was excited. The next morning, I got a strange email from the property owner that said, Dear Christian, this is a small basement room with a shared 3/4 bathroom. Better suited for thinner people. Oh yeah. From your picture, you appear to be a large man. Do you mind me asking how much you weigh? All the best, Susan. Somehow I don't think she meant all the best. And before I could even reply to the email, she denied my request for the room. It's like she decided, I don't need to know the exact number. Too many, that's how many he weighs. So I went ahead and replied anyway. Do you guys want to hear my reply? It said, "Dear Susan, thank you for your prompt reply to my application to stay in your basement. This probably isn't necessary now that I'm not staying there. But I weigh 300 pounds. Thank you for making sure I didn't accidentally book one of those rooms into which my body couldn't possibly fit." It would have been so embarrassing for me to need your help shoving me through the door frame and lubing me up to slide me in and out of bed every day. Thank goodness I found an open room at a whale refuge. They're gonna let me float naked in a large saltwater tank. While people walk by and tap on the glass walls and wave at my fat face. All the best, Christian. Thank you. Thank you. I meant all the best, even less than she did. Oh man. I broke my arm last year. I think it looks pretty good now though, right? Yeah, good as new. It was a freak accident. It could not have been predicted. I was skateboarding for the first time as a 300-pound, 30-year-old man. Here's a little trick for you. Everyone can do this. You can add up your weight and your age, right? And if the total is 330, you shouldn't try new things. It's not safe. Tried skateboarding, did not work out for me. I was trying to help this kid out. There's this neighbor kid. He's kind of like a weird, sheltered neighbor kid. You have one of those, probably. His mom's always trying to get him play with the other kids. He's always like, I don't wanna. It's like his catchphrase, I don't wanna. She's trying to get him to ride his skateboard. She got him a skateboard for his birthday and she wanted him to try it out. And he was like, I don't wanna. And I'm like, here kid, let me show you, it's not that hard. I put one foot on and I kicked with the other and immediately dropped to the ground. Like a 300-pound bag of swearing rocks. Landed on my arm and broke it. I was trying to give the kid confidence. Instead, I think I might have ruined his life. Because now in a few years, when his mom tries to get him to ask girls on dates or apply for college or something, he'll be like, Mom, the last time you tried to get me to leave my comfort zone, that fat man almost died. Man, it was my right arm too. I landed on my right arm and broke it. I was without the use of my primary arm for 8 weeks. I don't know if you guys know what that's like. I was not ready for that. It was a full arm cast, couldn't do anything with it. I was in Boy Scouts, did not give me the tools I needed. Like I learned how to tie knots, identify plants. I didn't learn how to do cross-handed wiping. You know what, some of you are looking at me like you think you can do it. You can't. Go home and try. You can't lift that other side of your body that you're not used to lifting at all in that way. And still reach around with enough dexterity to take care of that. You can't do it. Luckily, I'm married. Look, I'm not trying to gross you out. I'm trying to teach you about true love. I was at a party recently. I was the lonely guy at the party. You ever been the lonely person at a party? You know, my wife was supposed to come, but Did someone just break out in sobs? I'm the only guy at this party. There's one dude with no one on either side of him. Now, my wife was supposed to come to the party, but she canceled at the last minute because she got a headache. And I had to go because it was a work obligation. And I like the people, I know them, but there were a lot of couples, and so I felt kind of isolated and by myself. So I just sat down on the couch and watched whatever was on TV. And then, a few minutes later, I felt a tap on my shoulder. And I turned. And it was a 7-year-old boy that I've never met. And that I did not know was at this party. And he got right in my face and he said, "Back at home, in the bathroom, there's a drawer." I'm like, "Yeah, bathroom drawers. Are you bragging?" He's like, "I'm not done." I'm like, sorry, please continue. Then he leaned in closer. And he said, "I named that drawer George." George! He named it George! And in that moment, it hit home what a deeply flawed comedian I am. Because, folks, I've seen hundreds of bathroom drawers in my life. And never once did I think of naming one George. It was right there all along. And I'm just doing my business, lacking the childlike wonder and creativity to think that up. And I explained that to this kid. And then he said, "I'm not done." By all means, please continue. He said, "Do you know the song, George of the Jungle?" I was like, yeah, I'm familiar. Then he went, George at the bathroom, put stuff inside me. George at the bathroom, keep the bathroom clean. And then he walked away. That little genius walked away to spread the gospel of George to some other lonely stranger at some other lonely party. And folks, that's why I believe in magic. It's been an interesting year, I think, for all of us, right? There's a lot of political disagreements in the world. And I think in the interest of unifying, I think we can all agree on one thing. Whatever you believe politically, we can agree that it's very funny that 4 years ago there were a bunch of people who were worried that Mitt Romney was going to ruin the world. Remember those salad days? Seems cute now, doesn't it? He lost that election in 2012, and we thought it was because he was too rich and out of touch. Gotta say, I'm pretty sure that's not why now, due to recent events. Here's the reason that Mitt Romney lost in 2012. It's not because he's rich. People in America love that. It's because he made being that rich seem like it wasn't that much fun. And people want to imagine it being fun. Right? Say what you think about Donald Trump. He's clearly having a good time with his money. Right? Mitt Romney made hundreds of millions of dollars and then used it to have like 7 kids and never drink coffee. You trying to make America boring again, Mitt? Is that what's going on? If you remember, right before the election, there was that secret video that leaked where Mitt Romney was speaking to donors, and he said his job was only to care about the 47% of Americans who pay their taxes. And that was a huge scandal at the time. Doesn't that seem like a lot of Americans to care about now? 47%? I probably care about 8 Americans. And sorry, you think Donald Trump cares about 47? He doesn't care about 47% of his own kids. He's like, I like the hot one and the kid, kinda, and that's it. That's the list. I mentioned that I'm married. It's fun, I like it. We've been married 4 years. So far, so good. I like her. She's great. Wasn't always married. Before I was married, I dated, and I wasn't very good at that. Because I have this bad habit where if someone's a little rude to me, I have to be a lot rude back. And that's not a good trait for dating. Like, I punish with extreme prejudice. I was on a date with a girl, it wasn't going great. Neither of us is having fun, but I'm trying, She's just buried in her phone the whole time. I'm trying to make conversation. She has a tattoo on her arm of Abraham Lincoln. Like the beard, the face, the hat, that thing? So trying to make conversation, I say, I love your tattoo. I'm a big fan of Abraham Lincoln. And then she looked up from her phone like it was this huge chore. And said, that's not Abraham Lincoln. My grandpa was an Abraham Lincoln impersonator. And when he died, I got this tattoo to remember him by. And then went back to her phone like that should have been obvious to me the entire time. So I said, I'm sorry to hear about your grandpa. Was he shot in a theater? She said no. I said, well, that's not a very good impersonation then. Now, I missed out on Tinder. That seems like it makes dating really easy. Are there people on Tinder here in the crowd? Yeah? Some married guy accidentally says yeah. No. I missed out on that, but I have friends who do it, and so I'm always interested to see how it's going for them. I have one friend who never gets any matches. He's like 24 years old, he's a comedian, he looks good, he should be getting tons of matches. But he never does. So I'm like, here, let me help you out, I'll be your coach. So I'm looking at his Tinder profile, and I go to the settings. And I didn't even know you could do this, but apparently you can set recommended ages for the matches that you want. My friend's 23 years old. He had his recommended ages set at a minimum of 45. It's like, hey man, to each his own, I'm not judging. But he also had the maximum distance set at 1 mile. I didn't know mommy issues could be that urgent. Like, I need to make out with the grandma right now. I can't drive 2 miles. I'm enjoying myself here in Utah. I flew here a few days ago. Like I said, I live in Los Angeles, and I've been seeing the sights. The other night, I went to a movie, and I saw one of the trailers is for the new Thor movie. You guys seen that trailer? Yeah, it looks pretty good. I like superhero movies except for one thing. I feel like we tend to ignore really key things, where if these people were real, it wouldn't play out the way it does in the movie. Like, I feel like in the movie Thor, we really overlook the fact that in the Marvel universe, the Norse religion is the true religion. Yeah? Like, that whole movie should be people meeting Thor and having a crisis of faith. No one even bats an eye. After I saw the movie, I went and got a bite to eat, and the waitress was really upset because this guy who had been really rude at her table didn't tip her. And instead of a tip, he wrote his phone number on the receipt. Like that was the tip. And she's like, I don't want this number. And I'm like, I do want that number. Because frankly, if anyone deserves to have a professional comedian messing with him, it's this guy. So she gave me the phone number, and I've been texting the guy for the last 72 hours. Oh yeah, it is fun. Do you guys want to hear our text messages? I knew you would, so I printed them out. I started off by saying, thanks for leaving me your number, Winky Face. It's a good start. He said, aha, yeah. I was enamored by your matching boots and hair. So I said, what does enamored mean? Said, it means I liked it a lot. I said, oh, I never heard that word. So you're like really smart. Smart and handsome. Winky Face. He said, ha, yeah, I'm a double threat. He asked, are you from around here? And I said, I'm originally from Savannah, Georgia. Did you notice my accent? She didn't have an accent. My daddy was a stock car racer, and mama left when I was 9. How about you? He said, I thought I sort of noticed an accent. Whoop, no, you didn't. And he said, I'm from California. I moved here about a year ago. I said, oh yeah? I never went to there. Why'd you move to Utah? You one of them Mormons? He said, no way. I moved here for a job. I'm a computer programmer. In fact, at work, they call me the programming ninja. Man, at this point, if I could murder someone with a text message, oh boy, I'd do the world a favor. Then he added, why'd a pretty southern girl like you move to Utah? I said, Daddy won a race, and the guy he beat didn't pay him. So Daddy beat him up and went to jail. So I came out here to live with my aunt. Her name is Susan. Her last name is Carrot. Like the vegetable. Isn't that the weirdest name you ever heard? Susan Carrot? He said, definitely a funny name. So do you live in Salt Lake City or somewhere else? I said, I live in a place called Porvo. He said, I've heard of Provo. I said, I'm pretty sure it's Porvo. And then no messages for a little while. Until last night, at 2 in the morning, I get a text from this guy that just says, "You up?" I was. I said, yes, I am, because my finger hurts really bad. Do you know what kind of doctor I'm supposed to see for that? He said, just any doctor, I guess. I said, I only have enough money to see one doctor. So I need to make sure I find the right one the first time. So are there like finger doctors? He said, I don't think so. I think any physician will do. What happened to your finger? I said, I don't know. My aunt's cat scratched it, and I thought it was fine, but now it's big and it hurts and it isn't normal colored. You know what? I think I just realized I'm scared of doctors. I'll probably just wait it out. And then this guy, singularly focused, just not even understanding what's happening, asks me, well, what are you wearing? So I said, how dare you? I'm a happily married man. No messages back since. As I mentioned, I am married, and I am happily married. It's great. Yeah, we fight sometimes, but it's always about silly things that don't really matter. You know, like the other day, we were having a nice dinner, and I asked my wife if she had a Kleenex. And she said, if you don't think I should carry a purse, don't ask me for things that I keep in my purse. Sorry. I was like, what's this? What are you talking about? Turns out 3 weeks earlier, I said to her, I'm glad I get to carry a wallet instead of a purse. And we kept talking about that for 3 weeks inside her head. Apparently, Head Me has some pretty bad things to say about purses. She really is great. I love her. She does have a little bit of the autism. Just a little. She's got a scotch of the tizzy. She has what's called an autism spectrum disorder. It's more commonly known as Asperger's syndrome. You probably heard of that. It's not a big deal. It's pretty mild. Just means she has trouble picking up on social cues. So people think she's being weird and rude some of the time. The only problem, she wasn't diagnosed with it until 6 months after we got married. So of course I'm like, how did I not know? Seems like that's a social cue I should have picked up on. Because the signs were there. I mean, every day she goes to the kitchen, she makes the same smoothie, the same ingredients. She's got earmuffs on because the blender's too loud. She She's wearing a Camelback so she can stay hydrated indoors. Before, I was like, that's just cute and quirky, right? Nah, it turns out it's diseased. That's a symptom. It's cute and autistic is what it is. And it's okay. I feel like some of you are a little worried. Don't worry. She loves these jokes. She's not easily offended. Because of the Asperger's. And really, if you think about it, if you're getting tested for that as an adult, you better hope you have it. Because if not, you're sitting there in front of a doctor. He's like, I don't know what to tell you. You don't have autism. Guess you're just weird and rude for no reason at all. People want to know what it's like for me to be married to someone with autism, and it's great. There's nothing bad about it. I just have to, help her out in some situations so that the right kind of communication happens. The other day we went to the mall and she found a bathing suit she really liked at the Maternity Store. Right? She's not pregnant. We don't have any plans to ever have kids, but this is the suit that she liked. She's not fat. She just got the smallest size they had and went to check out. And the lady at the register, though, asked her when her baby was due. And she didn't say a word. She just looked up at me. And that's when I knew this was a job for the Asperger's whisperer. So I said to the lady, look, she's not pregnant. She just wants the suit. Can we please just check out? It's no big deal. She said, well, I don't know what to tell you because the computer won't let me check you out if I don't put a due date in. I was like, really? Put tomorrow. The baby's due tomorrow. What difference does it make? She said, I'll see if that'll work. Like, I'm pretty sure it's gonna work. I think I cracked your little security system here. Sure enough, it worked. And when the receipt printed out, she looked at it and said, the receipt says that because your baby's due tomorrow, I'm supposed to give you a gift basket. Yeah. So we loaded up on diapers and bottles and things we don't need. And we're headed for the exit. And mind you, my wife has not said one word to this lady the entire time she's been in the store. But as we're leaving, she turns and says, this was our plan all along. And then we left. Thanks, guys. Thank you all so much. You've been really amazing. Thank you.